So whatever happened to the Bosselmans? When I first started driving, there was a few small independent places and whatnot that you kind of wanted to be at. Bosselmans was one of them. They had huge travel centers. They didn't have too many of them. But they had one in Salina, one in Des Moines, one in, I had them all. Big Springs, Nebraska. And a couple more. And the areas elude me. I know them when I see them. But, and of course, you had the one in Grand Island, which they still have. That's about the last Bosselmans, but even that's starting to go kind of sideways. So whatever happened to them? Well, they've kind of gotten out of the truck stop game. But what's sad is their truck stops used to be where you wanted to be at. If you were stuck around on a restart or stuck around over a weekend or something, well, that's before restarts. This is kind of where you wanted to be. So let's go check one out. Now the nearest one to me is about an hour and a half north of me, up in Salina. I thought about heading down to the one in Oklahoma City, but it's really not. No, it's a, yeah, we'll cover that another day. I'm planning on going down to Oklahoma City to do a video about all that. But there used to be a Bosselmans in Oklahoma City too, and it's behind the, well, if you know on the north side where the Loves and the Flying J is, go right behind the Loves, and there's another truck stop back there. And it's behind the Waffle House and all that. That's the old Bosselmans. I think they call it a 5-star now or something like that. And you can kind of guess what happened to that one. I was there before it closed, but it closed in like 2002, 2003. Yeah. Of course, the owners kept the Grandma Max's awnings up until they rotted off. Go figure. But let's get up to Salina. I was going to run down to Oklahoma City today, but it's so hot today. This car doesn't have air conditioning, and I really just didn't want to drive the truck this far, or the pickup truck. So I just decided that it's going to be tolerable up here. It's Oklahoma City is just going to be in the hundreds. So I just decided that I'll wait for it to cool down before I do what I want to do in Okie City. But I'm kind of wanting to come up here and check this out. While we're up there, we'll check out a couple of other places real quick. But what I really wanted to check out was the Bosselmans. That was the old Newell's Truck Plaza. That sad story, the way that thing went. Became a pilot franchise, and it's just been run into the ground. I don't know if new owners bought it. None of the restaurant's gone. I know, just it's a pretty sad story. more minutes and we'll be there. We're gonna make one pit stop on the way up there. Show you something pretty neat. We're right on the edge of a storm. It's far north of me. It's sunny at the house. I rolled the windows down on the car again, so hopefully, yeah, it's done there. So, it's getting a little windy, which tells me I'm right on the edge. It's moving northeast, so hopefully it'll start getting sunny here. But the cool temps help the tires, so I don't mind that. Well, nothing good can come from that. Apparently, something went the overland route. Used to be not too far from here, this weird business that employed a lot of single mothers. Lots of brass, raised dance floor, odd place. Well, that's interesting. Looks like there's a bunch of military prop planes over there. That's an old B-52 hangar. So we're getting ready to enter, or we may have already, what used to be Schilling Air Force Base. I don't know if it was called Smoky Hill Air Force Base also, or if that was a second base. I'd have to look into it, and truthfully, I'm not that motivated. But this was an old SAC base, and they closed it back in the 70s, I believe. There's one really cool thing out here. We can't get too close to it, but I always like to see it while I'm here, and that is right over there. We're on the old tarmac here, and can't get too close to it, but there it is, right there. That is an old Connie, an old Constellation, a C-121. Let's zoom in. I wish you could still get up close to it. Years ago, it used to be parked right over there, and you could walk up right to the back end of it. It's missing engine number 4 right now. So it's either 1 or 4. I think it's 1. Story goes, they moved it from over there, and we're doing engine tests because they were getting ready to fly it out of here. The private owner owns it. He was going to make it one of the, I think there's 2 flyable left or 1 flyable. That was going to be like 3 at the time. And what ended up happening was, I guess they lost oil pressure in one engine. They had all 4 of them going, but they lost oil pressure, and then I guess they just didn't have it in the budget to redo that one right away, so it's been sitting like another 15 years. So I would love to see it fly again, but I guess time will tell. But that's kind of what I wanted to see. Now, I will say this. Last time I was here, it had all 4 engines on, and that was last summer, so maybe they are actually doing something. It'll be neat to see if anything happens in the next couple of years. It used to sit right here, and my company had spots that actually was fenced in at the time to where that's where we dropped all our loaded and empties. But as I've said, time waits for no man, so let's go look at Truckstops. Well, that's out of place. That looks very CIA-ish. Now, before we go over to the Bossman's, there's one truck stop I want to show you, and I'm gonna explain it. It's kind of illustrates the end result of what I've been talking about. Why certain things like paid parking is so important, and why it is so important to support your local truck stop. You can disagree with me about the paid parking all you want, but I'm going to show you the end result. And it's this old truck stop right here. Yeah. It has a commercial tire in it. It shares the property with this hotel. I don't know if they're owned by the same person, but judging by the rate of disrepair, yes. But you come over here and it's got a tire shop here, but the whole place is trashed. This place is potholed really bad. It's got junk tires, abandoned trucks, trailers. I don't even know how many of them actually work. Used to be a great place. Had a nice driver's lounge. I think it even had a restaurant. I know there was one in the hotel. But the owner has gotten so cheap that he's had, in order to boost business, he has he hasn't done anything to boost business. He just keeps cutting cost. He won't even turn on the sign. That big overhead sign, I haven't seen that on in a couple of years now. So nobody sees it from the road anymore. What's sad is this is in a prime location with a great spot that if you'd spend a little bit of money just to even paint lines in it and maybe open a restaurant, I don't even think that hotel's open anymore. You'd probably do all right. I mean, it's a great location, but I think the only reason people stop here on the interstate is because it is a Phillips 66 and a lot of people have a 66 credit card. But that right there is a prime example of what happens when, basically owners get cheap, honestly. When it comes to paid parking, it's a real mixed bag with me, as you know. Yeah. You come over here to the 10 to 4 and that place has gone downhill too, but let's get over to the Bosselmans. Now, here's the thing when it comes to me and paid parking. If it's solely going to the business and it's a guy's using it like they do at the Regal to take care of the parking lot and use it to hire a guy to keep things clean and whatnot, I do not have a problem with that. But where I start having a problem is when it starts going to third party through like tow companies, like that A1 debacle that's going on in Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi. That whole debacle right there has destroyed Truckstops. In fact, Truckstop and E-Crew tried to go with a towing company like that. It destroyed them. I'm not kidding. Their business, they've got big signs up now. Free parking, everyone welcome, blah, blah, blah. Will it come back? Probably not. They have burned that bridge. But when you are using it to help your business along and pay for a couple of things, I don't have a problem with that. And truthfully, a lot of these independent local truck stops, it's a mixed bag just because you need the locals. You need the locals. But you need the locals to spend money. And a lot of times, though, with truck drivers, you need the transient money. You need guys to come in, drop a few bucks, and leave. That's how you bring more money into the community. But, yeah. What I find interesting is the Bosselmans and the Petro were built right along the old highway. But they're on each side of I-70, so somebody had a plan. If you come up here, you can see all the old travel plazas and stuff like that. Lots of hotels. Nothing more than we've already seen, but get over here across this bridge and we'll pull right into the Bosselmans. It's a Pilot now. So let's drive around the building real quick and I'll give you a summary. They still have the Boss shop here, but this was always a mess trying to get around back here, especially when people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, yeah. I don't know why they thought building a repair shop behind the truck stop was a good idea, because the only way into the repair shop is through the truck stop. So yeah, kind of a weird setup. It's a really weird setup because you've got basically 3 businesses that have no access except through the actual truck stop. I don't even know what that was, but you've got an independent shop, a Cummings shop, and then you've got the Bosch shop over there. Can't go in that entrance. Well, it says the store is closed due to lack of power. Truthfully, this place is a complete dump, but I'm not even gonna lie, it's a complete dump. So we're gonna go across the highway to the Petro, and we'll explore that a little bit, but we'll come back over here in a bit to see if it opens back up. Oh. This place is a shadow of its former self too. So here's another victim of, well, the TA. The Iron Skillet restaurant is permanently closed because, you know, health. But don't worry, you can visit their other restaurant known as Popeyes. I get sick and tired of them calling things like fast food restaurants. Yeah, in a general sense, I guess you could say that, but it's crap. You sit there and you want to promote driver's health and driver awareness and driver appreciation, but you're turning it into a 7-Eleven with a really crappy fast food option. Yeah, I don't see how this is helping. Truthfully, I view TAs like I do pilots. Everything they touch turns to crap. The TA has bought some wonderful franchises, and they've run them all into the ground. Pilot, back before Pilot bought Flying J and all that, the Pilot was last on the list to stop. You stopped at the Pilot when there was nowhere else to stop. Seriously, it was parking. The parking lots were trashed. There was, yeah. So you just didn't stop there. Let's see if the power's back on. Here's the old restaurant entrance, and it's used to store chains now. So there's the old restaurant. Still have an arcade. This used to be a lot different, but that's just the way you get out to the shop now. All of this used to be fresh food, no roller grills. It had coolers and everything like that, so sad to see all this go. Well, this is funny. They call these new, but everywhere else they're on sale. They're trying to get rid of them. This aisle right here is the extent of all the trucking stuff. Let's sneak upstairs. They don't even turn the neon on anymore there. I had to turn the volume off on this because there was music playing. But we go up the staircase and see what awaits us up here. And yeah. That's all there is anymore. Used to be a couple shops up here, a CB shop, and some other stuff. There's nothing up here anymore. Yeah, I'm not kidding. That corner right there is the only thing for truck drivers here now. This is the only food in a cooler left. What's sad is this place isn't even a shell of its former self. It's just barely even a shell. It's trashed. It's run down. It's... yeah, I mean, I don't even... For all of you who used to come here back in the day and used to spend a lot of money here, this is sad. Everything Pilot touch just goes to crap. I mean, it's crap. You can go to one of these brand new Pilots and they're so crappily built, and they've cut so many quarters that even the new ones are crap. Case in point, next exit. Yes, you guessed it, the infamous Flying J. This place is also a dump. And yes, Flying J used to have their own set of scales. At one time, they had their own scales, their own restaurants, their own gas, their own everything. They were 100% independent. Yeah. One thing that's always made me curious is they've been putting these up everywhere, all this clean energy crap. I have never seen one open. In the 10 or so years they've been putting them up, never seen them open. And that right there is another reason why people don't want us around. Somebody cleaned out his trailer right there. Some hopper bottom took it upon himself to dump all of that in the parking lot and let somebody else deal with it. Yeah, you don't burn the locals, but that's how we get kicked out of places, because you do stupid stuff like that. And I'll guarantee you that was a local guy doing that. Yeah, but a truck driver is a truck driver is a truck driver to the general public, and they don't differentiate. So, yeah, thanks, guy. This parking lot's so beat up, if I go through it fast, it'll be like going through a whoop-de-doo. For what these struts cost, I don't want to put any more on. Well, all the showers are out of order according to that sign. That ought to make people happy. I'm not going to film in here, but I need to go check something. So this Flying J, like usual, before Pilot bought it, had a country market in it and a nice, decent store and all that. It was a Denny's for about 12 minutes. And then it was empty for about 20 minutes. And then it's been a Huddle House. It burned down once, the Huddle House did. You can see where they've completely rebuilt the Huddle House. But I think the same guy owns this one as he owns the one in Emporia, and he owns the one in, I think he owns all of them up and down I-35. And if it's the same guy I'm thinking of, he runs a garbage Huddle House. I've been to bad Huddle Houses, and the ones that are in these Flying J's up and down these stretches, they're the worst. It's not that they try to find help. They go straight for the bottom of the barrel. So, yeah. Of course, I've never been a fan of Huddle House, but maybe that's just me. So, we're going to head home now. That was the Bosselmans, and truthfully, from what I've seen, except for the one in Grand Island that they're still maintaining, the Bosselman family's still maintaining, what you saw was actually one of the better ones. You get out to Big Springs, that place is a dump. Truthfully, all of the ones that Pilot's taken over have become dumps. Altoona's still not too bad, but it's still not good. So maybe I'm just being a little picky and all that, but these places are going away and they're being replaced by basically 7-Elevens with truck parking. There's nothing in it for us anymore. There really isn't. Go to any Loves, go to any Pilot. The truck stuff is about 1.5 miles, and the rest of it's all geared around the front door. But that's the way it's going. So I thought it'd be fun to show you the old Bosselmans, and I'm going to get online and see if I can't find a bunch of pictures and stuff. So if there's a bunch of pictures in it, cool. If there's not a bunch of pictures in this video, sorry, couldn't find any that weren't watermarked. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, and we'll see you next video.